I can't. I'm not as quick-witted as I used to be. I was,
Inaugural.
Yeah, inaugural. That's. Oh, hey, that's actually
Yep.
correct. Sort of. I think it has different meanings. I don't know. You're listening to Hunting Pixels, the one and only official Folgers Coffee Christmas incest commercial
Stop.
podcast
Stop.
of Culture Pop. You know what we are. You know who we are. Why are you listening? That's usually my thought process.
Oh my God.
But
that was good.
You know, I'm your host, and Dylan's dying.
Yep.
He's my co-host. He's my dying co-host.
We all are.
Oh boy, it's true. It is very, very true. Well, yeah. This was intended to be our Game of the Year episode, and we are going to have to rearrange some things. So we apologize for the delay, but it's for very good reasons. Instead, what we're going to do today is we're going to, Dylan and I, talk about a couple different things, what we've been doing, what we've been playing, but most importantly with our topic of this and every show. That's not true. It's not the topic for every show. But we're gonna go ahead and we're going to take a look at the upcoming year. We're gonna preview kind of 2024 in video games and kind of we're gonna talk about the stuff we're excited about, the stuff we're not excited about, and the stuff that makes us want to vomit. So, yeah, I guess Dylan, I will start with you first, real quick, because I think I already know the answer, but what have you been doing?
Oh, okay.
Since last we
spoke.
spoke.
What have I been doing? Man, I was really trying to think if I had done anything special outside of play video games and go to work, but I haven't. I've been sick a few times.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool.
That's, dude, I started coming down with, I'm pretty sure some sort of like flu related thing. Like I don't know if you're able to tell, but my back is, or not my back, my voice is very, I don't know, not great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I woke up some point last week. It was just after Christmas, some point last week, and there were no signs of anything the night before, and then I woke up, and as soon as I opened my eyes, just immediate coughing fit. And I was like, well, that was weird, because that doesn't happen. And then I stood up, and just immediate coughing fit. I was like, what is happening? Yeah. So COVID test, negative. I was like, okay, that's weird. So went to work, cough kind of subsided, and then I got to work, and all of a sudden, I feel like I am wading upriver against the current, and I am starting to get the body aches, and I'm like, what's happening, dude? Like, I just automatically assume COVID now, because between Jeff and I, we're the fucking champions of it. It's bad. But it wasn't that, and I still retained all my senses, and I went home, and I was just icky. Like, I did not like how I felt. Turns out it's the flu, and then got over that after a few days. My fever only hit like 101, 102, so no big deal. And then after that, I knocked the big symptoms out, and then yesterday, I was like, something's not right, because I can't walk more than 10 steps without feeling like I'm on the cusp of disaster. Turns out I have some kind of bronchial infection as well. So,
isn't that
terrible
just the
cough?
best?
Yep, sounds like I'm wheezing. But they gave me an inhaler for the first time in my life, and that's kind of cool. Opened up the lungs a little bit, so hopefully after the next few days, man, I'm finally back to it. That's not how I wanted to start my year.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's been a lot of games. A lot of games.
That you've just been playing through?
Yeah, just been playing through, and then dude, w- during like the peak part of that sickness last week, there were 2 days I did not eat a bite of food, and then I did not get out of bed. I literally slept 90% of those 2 days. So outside of that, I was like, man, I've missed out on some, holiday season gaming. So I went into that. I think I picked up Neon White, Elder Scrolls Online's newest expansion, and then I got one of the Battle Network collections on the PlayStation just to kind of dabble in, and then I've been doing some other stuff outside of that, but nothing too crazy. No movies, no TV shows really. Just the norm in that regard. But been trying to go to the gym in the midst of this. I am not contagious. I just want to say that. I've been on antibiotics the whole time. Been trying to go to the gym and battle my way out of this. My whole thing this year is no excuses and have discipline over motivation. So that's been kind of my life past couple of weeks, man.
Yeah, I feel that. Mine has been the opposite. I haven't really played too much other than some Baldur's Gate 3, which I'll talk a little bit about later, but I'm not going to give like a really in-depth review because even though it has been kind of one of the only things that I've been playing, I don't feel like I have given it enough attention properly. I've just been watching shit like, until like yesterday. Today's the 3rd. So yeah, up until basically about yesterday, when I went back to work for the first time in like almost a month.
Damn.
Yeah. So I've watched, dude. So I was looking at my Letterboxd account. I think the last episode we recorded was like right after my birthday, because I had seen like Killers of the Flower Moon at that point because I remember talking about it. But like since then, I have watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 movies.
That's stupid.
Yeah. I was doing it that because I didn't have discipline a little bit earlier in the month when I saw that I was I think I started at I think it was like 80-ish movies, and then I went and saw over the course of like 2 days I went and saw Thanksgiving, Dream Scenario, The Holdovers, and Napoleon. So that was like all like a little thing. And then I was like, oh, I've only got 18 movies left. Or it was something weird like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. I was like, oh, I can make this. I can do 100 movies this year. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I can definitely do it because I have like, 24 days or something like that. That's less than a movie a day. And then I kind of screwed around, and then it was like the 14th, and I was like, I only have 16 days left to watch 18 movies. And then like I just didn't have like the discipline to do what I needed to do. So then it came to be like the 20th, and I'm like, I really need to start watching these fucking movies, and I had to knock out 18 over the course of basically Christmas, like the day after Christmas on. But
that's ridiculous. And now you're 3 days into your year of 200. How many have you watched? Uh-oh.
I haven't even started.
All right.
Yeah, it's not going great. But in my defense, the first January 1st, if I'm not mistaken, we had some like a whole bunch of kind of stuff going on, and then yesterday I got back to work, and then today I've been at work, so I haven't really had necessarily the time to. But the plan is to kind of start today because it's really only a work day. And even less, actually. I think it averages out to be something like 0.8 movies per workday or something like that. So it's not that I can't do it. I just need to make sure that I stay on top of it because I can't wait to get to like fucking October and be like, oh, well, I have to watch a movie every single day for the next 3 months in order to catch up, So.
Don't forget about Twilight.
Yep, and I was fucking goddamn it.
I can't even laugh like a normal person because I'm still wheezy. So let's try to keep the humor down a little bit.
Okay.
If we can. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, well, I'll just rattle off a couple that I watched during this time. On the 31st, I actually went and saw 2 movies that were kind of at the top of my list of things to like get around to here at the end of the year. One was Ferrari. It's the new Michael Mann movie. I really, really dug it. Like, it was very, very good. It wasn't quite as top tier as other Michael Mann stuff. Like he hit his prime in the 90s with like Heat and The Insider and like Last of the Mohicans, that kind of stuff. So it wasn't nearly as good as like his heyday, but I still really, really enjoyed it. And there was one scene near the end of the movie that like I audibly gasped at, like, cause it came out of nowhere. I was not expecting it at all. And then it was like, oh my God, that just fucking happened. Yeah, there were some problems with it. Shailene Woodley's in it, and she's a really good actress, but she tried to do an Italian accent, and it was just not very good. I really think that it would have been a better idea to just have her speak English or cast someone else, because her accent was terrible. Yeah, but overall, very, very good time. Really enjoyed it. And then the other one was Poor Things. This is the one with Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo, where it's basically feminist Frankenstein. Basically, Emma Stone is a woman who died while carrying a child. All of this is explained in like the first 5 minutes, by the way, so it's not very spoilery. But she's a woman who died while she had like a fetus growing inside of her, and this kind of Dr. Frankenstein kind of guy replaces her brain with the brain of the infant, and so she's basically like a child in a woman's body, and it kind of just follows her through like basically learning what it means to be a woman in the world and trying your best to navigate that while like becoming a person, so to speak. Like it's so hard to talk about without giving anything away, but like the long and short of it is that she kind of grows up and realizes like, hey, women are subjugated by men, and that's not very cool. And also, I can find liberation through sex. And also, I like sex, but I'm not just a sexual creature. I also have these other desires. And like, it's very good in its production design, in its acting, in its feminist messages. But it also has some things that I thought were a little like just off-putting. Like, just for instance, so the beginning of the movie, and for a decent chunk of it, it's this basically child inside of a full-grown woman's body, and coming to terms with like what it means to be, in the world or whatever. But like they sexualize the shit out of her, and it's like, dude, that's a child. Even though it's in like a woman's body, that's a child, you know what I mean? And that's kind of off-putting. Like, Kayla walked out of the movie. Like, she was excited to watch it. She hated it. She walked out like 10 or 15 minutes in. And I stayed and watched the rest of the thing, but like, it did become like there were times where like the sexual stuff in it felt very I don't know how to say it. Like, it was like too much. Like, once I've seen sex on screen 5, 6, 7 times, like, I'm like, I get the point. You do not have to continue to show me sex scenes. Like, I understand what's going on. And like, that was distracting, and that sucks. But like, overall, the majority of the movie was like really good. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about before we move on? Another one I watched was How to Blow Up a Pipeline, that is based on a book, and basically it's this really, really angry film that's like, I saw, when I was on Letterboxd, I saw this one, and I think I've seen it elsewhere too, but I saw this one review in particular that called it Ocean's 11, but like as directed by the Safdie brothers, and another one I'm pretty sure said it was like Ocean's 11, but it was like an ecological thriller. And like, that's a really good way to sum it up. But one thing that I think that misses is just how intense the filmmaking is, because it is very blunt and angry and in your face, and it really feels more like a manifesto than a movie that's meant to be enjoyed. And I kind of think that that's the point. Like, I really, really loved this movie because of that. Like, it wasn't trying to like sugarcoat anything. It's very much the climate crisis is real. We need to do something about it. And everyone is just sitting on their ass. And like, I don't know. I really, really dug it. I thought it was very good, and very transgressive. And then I guess the last thing I'll talk about is the Iron Claw, which I am really thinking that between this movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, and The Holdovers, all of which I have seen within the last month, I am starting to think that I need to, I need to revisit Oppenheimer and Barbie for sure. But I'm starting to think that between those 3 movies, they might be collectively my favorite movie of the year, and I can't decide between them. The Iron Claw is, I don't even really know how to describe it, honestly. It's very moving. Like, okay, saying that it was a feel-good movie would be an absolute lie. Just straight up. But at the same time, I can't think of another movie from 2023, aside from maybe The Holdovers or Killers of the Flower Moon, that managed to hit the bittersweet happiness part of my brain. And like, given the subject matter of the Von Erich brothers and professional wrestling, I think that I knew to an extent what I was getting into. I actually didn't know anything about like the tragedy, like all of the stuff that basically happened to the Von Erichs, but like, I still knew that, like, based on how professional wrestling is handled in a lot of different media things, like if you've ever watched The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, very good movie, or pretty much any documentary based around wrestling, you kind of know that like tragedy and obsession have something to do with it. Like that's just how professional wrestling is usually like portrayed. So like to an extent, I knew what I was getting myself into, but like I didn't know that I was going to get hit over and over and over again with these fucking like haymakers, these gut punches like left and right, dude. And like at a certain point, like the first half of the movie isn't really like that. It's like once it hits about the halfway mark, then it starts throwing those things at it, and it's almost like you're sitting there and it's like, oh my god, dude, am I just going to be miserable this entire time? And then the ultimate payoff though is so
Fritz fucking dying.
Is what?
Is Fritz fucking dying?
Oh no, but that would have been great. No, yeah. It's the payoff is basically it talks about Kevin and his family and how basically like they have shunned the sort of like toxic masculinity that like was impressed upon them through Fritz, basically. Like I really expected it to be super cynical, and it actually ended up not being. It actually ended up being like very heartwarming, and I don't know. I fell in love with it, man. Like it was. I don't know. It was fucking fantastic. The entire cast is magnificent. The way that several of the scenes are shot, like you could tell that someone who enjoyed pro wrestling was the person who shot it, because it felt like a real thing. Like it felt like not that it felt like a WWE production, but it felt like a true to life representation of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The needle drops in it were good. I don't know, man. It was very, very good. It was very, very, very good. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I genuinely cannot recommend it enough. Yeah, good shit.
Didn't the two some of the surviving Von Erichs, the sons, didn't they just appear in AEW too?
Oh, maybe.
Marshall and Ross.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I think I don't keep up with AEW, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
At some point.
It says they began wrestling in 2012. Let me see. Yeah. They appeared All Elite Wrestling in December 2023. Cool.
There we go. Yeah. That's crazy to me. I mean, didn't Iron Claw come out last month too?
Yep, sure did.
Yeah,
it came out the day before Christmas, or no, it came out the day before Christmas Eve, I should say.
I hope it goes well for them, dude, because it would be cool if the turning point in their family's legacy comes now.
Yeah.
In terms of, I wouldn't say their family has a negative legacy in terms of in-ring, but in terms of like just tragedy. It's not good.
Yeah.
So I hope these two have a successful career.
Right. I'm really kind of glad that I didn't go into it, because like knowing what I knew, because I think to an extent that is what helped serve the narrative for me. But like also, dude, it's even worse. The real life stuff is even fucking worse.
It's bad, man.
like Chris, he is left out completely from the movie, and he ends up shooting himself in the head in 1991, right? Like
shot himself in the heart.
Oh, okay.
One of them shot him, I think. Yeah, one of them shot themselves in the heart, and it's just fucked up. It's not a good time.
Yeah. So
oh no, that was Carrie.
Yeah.
I'm reading it now. Carrie shot himself in the heart. Then Chris fucking... Oh, God. He shot himself in the head. I didn't know that one.
Oh, yeah.
That's so bad, dude. I knew... Fuck, whatever. Okay. It's not a good time.
Yeah,
But I really do want to see the movie.
it's good, man. It's very, very good. I loved it. But
Good.
yeah, so I mean, with that out of the way, what do you think about? We talk about what we're excited for in 2024.
Change.
This is okay. So this is obviously the topic of the show, but this is something that I think we were talking about either yesterday or the day before. I'm genuinely excited that last year was so good for games because I don't feel like this year will have as many good games.
Well, it's going to be straight shit, which is a great thing.
I don't know if it'll be straight shit. Like,
I can't think of one thing, AAA, that's not avowed that I'm excited for.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. That's totally fair. I personally have several that I'm excited for.
I forgot Final Fantasy was coming out.
Final Fantasy's the big one. Did you ever play Dragon's Dogma?
No, because I'm sure it's great. It just looks like trash to me.
Okay.
So, and
I actually kind of think that you would love Dragon's Dogma.
I feel like I would. It just looks like a graphical mess to me, so I can't go back and enjoy it.
Fair enough. Well,
but the new one coming out looks okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say Dragon's Dogma 2 is another one that's on my radar. And then, like you said, hey, what are you thinking about Destiny the Final Shape? Are you not... Well, actually...
I don't have any faith in Bungie.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say.
I think they're fucking screwing themselves, dude.
Oh, yeah.
This could have been a huge launch for them because they're bringing Cade back, which is massive. And I don't know. I feel like going into this year, maybe laying off so many people and being a bunch of cunt wipes wasn't the best way to go about doing things.
Yeah.
I am really not thrilled, and I'm as of right now, I have zero excitement for the Final Shape.
Okay.
The nearest thing that I'm excited for is Ultros. Have you seen that?
I have not.
So this is coming out on the PlayStation, and it's essentially like a fucking Metroidvania on an acid trip.
Oh.
Quite literally, it's a psychedelic action adventure, like side-scrolling action adventure sci-fi game.
Okay, I'm gonna
and it looks like you're 20 tabs into an acid trip.
Oh, beautiful. Ultros reveal trailer 7 months ago. Oh, yeah, wait.
So this has been on my wish list.
Yeah, I think that Skill Up talked about this in one of his videos.
Okay. Yeah, it's been on my wish list for a few months now, and I'm very, very excited for it.
Yeah, this shit looks fucking dope, dude. This looks beautiful.
I think it has huge potential, especially, loving the games that I love. I just think it's going to be a fun time. And it's coming out within a month or two, I think. So it's right around the corner.
Yeah, right around the corner.
I know it's appearing on my PlayStation feed, so it's super, super soon.
Yeah. Let's see. I just saw it. February 13th. So the day before Thanksgiving or Valentine's Day.
Oh, no. Not Thanksgiving.
Not Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving.
Valentine's. The day before the other kind of buffet.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Before you're eating all that ass.
Oh.
Damn it.
Of
Austin.
The ass.
I need him here. But that's the game that's coming out the soonest for me. Does Final Fantasy come out before that?
No, it comes out at the end of February. It is coming out February 29th. So, like, the last day.
Literal leap day.
Yep, literally.
Holy fuck. That's awesome.
Yeah, so...
How bad do you think Skull and Bones is going to fail?
Miserably.
Yep, agreed. Moving on.
Yeah.
Mario versus Donkey Kong.
I actually saw that on this list that I'm looking at. I have no clue what that even is.
I don't either. I know it. I've seen it when I look at the the Nintendo voucher pass. I know it's one of the games coming out, but I have fucking zero clue about it. Yeah.
No clue whatsoever. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that, like, I see, I'm not too... Like, the stuff that's on this list, I'm not too... I don't want to say keen on, but, like, there's, like, nothing There's nothing here that
It's
I've either
nothing?
heard of or am excited for. Like Suicide Squad, I've heard of. I have zero want to play that game.
No, it's gonna be fucking trash as a live service game.
Yep.
What? I was just thinking. Oh, I don't know. I have zero clue if it's coming out this year. It has no release date. He's talked about it very little, but Concerned Apes new game, the Haunted Chocolatier, the Stardew creator.
Oh, okay.
It's coming out at some point, but he's also currently working on a big Stardew update coming out sometime soon. So I don't have a lot of faith that the Haunted Chocolatier is coming out this year. But if it does, yay.
Yeah.
Game of the year.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff I'm also looking at doesn't have release dates, but like
That's my issue.
they're presumed to come out this year, right? Like Hellblade 2.
Like Hellblade 2, yeah.
Hellblade 2 is on there. Skate Story is on there. I've been on that fucking
Ooh.
game's dick.
You are the one that told me about that.
Yeah,
and
it
that's
looks
been on my list.
it looks amazing, but
Yes. But again, a lot of this stuff, like, because I can make speculations that these games are coming out this year,
Yeah.
and I can be excited for them. That could just be a goddamn lie.
yeah, exactly. Like
Hades 2?
What was it?
Hades 2?
Yeah, Hades 2 is supposed to release in early access, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yep.
Like and it's only going to be on PC, so like it's not that I can't play those games on PC. But
I feel like it's very controller oriented for me.
yeah, same. And I don't know. I'm weird. I don't like playing games on PC with a controller. I know that sounds stupid, but like it's not a.
I mean, we all have something.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I feel that. If I'm going to play a game with a controller, most definitely I want to go sit down and play it, like, over somewhere comfortable.
Exactly.
I'm trying to look through this list, but there's nothing, like, the ones that are not slated for a specific day. I mean, tell me about your excitement for Rebirth.
I'm fucking stoked, dude. Like, so the ending of Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm not a gigantic fan of. It actually hurt the overall product for me. Like, I feel like the ending of that game really threw me off from liking it as a whole package. I think that was what 2020. Was that 2020? Yeah, it was. Okay. that was our first year doing this. So I'm relatively positive it made it into my top 10, but I don't think it made it into my top 5. And it's because of that ending. But seeing
Was that the year of Ghost of Tsushima?
that was the sure fucking was, you son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
Oh God. Yeah, it was not my favorite thing in the world, but I did thoroughly enjoy that game, and so I didn't make it into my top 5. Holy shit, that's crazy.
That's really crazy because you speak highly of the game.
I love it. I genuinely think that is one of the better Final Fantasy games to release in. No, I fuck that. I take that back. I think it's the best Final Fantasy game to have released in the last
decade, except for 14.
Yeah. Fuck it. It might be better than the 14. Like, I love 14, but like,
whoa, that's actually saying something.
Yeah, 7 Remake brought back those memories of me playing old Final Fantasy.
Yeah, and I was just kind of touching on 14. There's a new expansion coming out this year for that, right?
Supposedly, we'll see.
Dawn Trail?
Yeah, Dawn Trail. I was going to say Dawn Guard, but that's what is?
Oh, that's the wrong franchise. That's my franchise.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey,
that's Elder Scrolls.
Well, speaking of, or wait, hang on. You said that's Elder Scrolls?
Elder Scrolls Dawn Guard, yeah. That's the DLC for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought when you said that's my franchise, I thought you were talking about World of Warcraft.
And their stupid bullshit expansion coming out at some point called The War Within. Stupid fucks.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yep. Sorry, that was hostile for no reason. I actually.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you'd be excited. That's a Jeff thing, then I guess.
I mean, I need to fucking have a definitive answer on where my WoW life is going. I need to know. The reason I love ESO so much is I don't have to pay for a subscription to play that game. I can
really?
just sign on. Yes. There is no subscription needed to play. I can sign on, make my character, play the shit, no level cap, thank you. Now, ESO Online Plus, whatever the fuck it's called, does bring benefits, like having access to the DLC packs that aren't directly correlated with one of the big expansion releases, like getting access to, I believe, like maybe Dark Brotherhood quest lines and stuff like that. That can come through ESO Plus, but I do not need it. And that's a big thing for me. Like, if you want to rope that into Game Pass subscription, fine. But I'm very sick and tired of having to pay a fucking fee to play the game that I already bought. Stop it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how that will go with me at the moment. I'm kind of vibing with ESO Online, and I'm gravitating towards Final Fantasy XIV. So we will see how that goes.
Well, part of my plan for our challenge is to get through those fucking expansions. So if you if you decide to play it, hit me up.
I'll add it to my wish list. That way if I buy Endwalker, does that give me everything?
I don't think so. I think. Now I could be wrong, but I'm relatively positive how it works is you can buy the like the quote unquote base game, and that gets you Heavensward and Stormblood, I think. But then the one before Endwalker and Endwalker are both you still have to buy those.
Okay. Even still, I'll add it to my, because I'm playing everything on PlayStation right now. I'm just cozy with it. I'm trying to go for trophies this year. Shout out to Sabrina. She played Frontiers of Pandora, has one trophy left before she's platinum that shit. Something I can say about her is when she loves a game, she has put 100 hours into Frontiers of Pandora.
Jesus,
a fucking Blue People Avatar game.
Christ.
Yeah. 100 hours, completely uncovered the map, has done every single side quest, every bit of exploration. She has one trophy left before the platinum, and that shit is crazy to me. So that's Ubisoft, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
Or
yep,
no?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. So imagine doing everything there is to do in like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Suck my dick. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That would take so fucking long, and she's over here like a boss, just platinuming. Getting the platinum. I try to make it a verb, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to do this year is spend a lot more time on my backlog games, try to get some more platinums and stuff like that. So I'll add probably an Endwalker and I guess base game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I was looking at this. I went to the website. So you can get the starter edition that's $20, and that comes with a Realm Reborn, Heavensward, and Stormblood. Or you can get the quote unquote complete edition. It's $60, and that comes with everything.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll add that to the wish list and just wait on that to go on sale. That'll give me time to play ESO, or whatever else I got to do, and then I can jump right into another MMO and ruin my life. That's fine. The hilarity of this, I'm going to sound like a complete fucking hypocrite. I would be more willing to pay the subscription on that.
Because you'd be playing with someone, right?
I'd be playing with someone. It is a whole new world to me. So I don't know. Like, I feel like I've dumped so much into WoW, and I just keep having to give and give and give. And what does it give me? It gives me nothing. So
sadness.
It does give me a little sadness, and I'm sad because I love the world, I love the lore, and all of that. But it just, it's time to move on.
Yeah, I feel you.
What else are we 2024 in?
So
I wish I would have asked Austin what he wanted.
Yeah, so a couple of things that they may or may not be on his list, but
Persona.
There are, well, that's for sure on his list. There are a couple things that are on my list that would technically be considered backlog things because they're re-releasing Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door on the Switch.
Oh, and Braid as well.
And Braid and Luigi's Mansion 2, which was a 3D or
yes,
was it
yes,
a 3DS
yes.
or DS? I can't remember.
I don't know. I wasn't big on Luigi's Mansion, but that is true.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to those. Maybe Austin is too. He actually would probably love Paper Mario.
I didn't think about the like the Braid getting re-released. I don't think I ever played Braid, but I was familiar with it. I just saw something else on this list. I don't know where it went. Wasn't necessarily something that I was excited for. Oh, Little Nightmares 2. Or 3, sorry, 3.
Yeah, that's a game that's on my list for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, but I think, I mean, looking at this stuff, what we were talking about, there are games for sure that like are coming up. Like, did you play Hyper Light Drifter? I can't remember. I know you played Solar Ash.
Is that coming out?
Hyper Light Breaker is in early access, or is supposed to release in early access this year.
I forgot about that.
Okay, well there we go.
This is going to be another good year for indies for me. What's the name of that guy that you met last year that was like meeting your hero in film?
Oh, John Carpenter.
Okay, what the fuck is John Carpenter's Toxic Commando?
That is a game that he, I think, tied his name to, but he had very he had very limited involvement with. But the funny thing is, John, he loves video games. Like he, if I'm not mistaken, for a very long time played Halo, and was like,
oh God,
like that was like one of like he
Are
would
you
post
telling me that I've potentially gone up against John Carpenter?
Yeah, possibly
in my fucking years of playing. Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But he's had a long history with doing stuff with video games. Like he narrated either Fear 2 or Fear 3.
Ooh,
I can't remember
that was
which.
a scary motherfucking game.
Yeah. And then I cannot remember if he had anything to do with the Thing video game. But there was a video game based on his movie The Thing that released in the early 2000s, I think, like somewhere around like 2003, 2004. Yeah, like I said, he's really played video games all the time. But the Toxic Commando thing is, I don't know. It's a zombie game. But like it didn't look like there was. I don't know. To me when I think of like John Carpenter, like I think like suspense and like really wide, long lenses, and like I think of like I don't know, not gore, and then zombies are just gore. I don't know, but. I don't know. I'll give it a shot. Fuck it.
You played Wanted Dead last year, so you can give anything a shot.
Yeah.
Have you heard of a game called Animal Well?
Animal Well, no.
Because this shit looks also right up my alley. It's another Metroidvania, and it has a very beautiful art style. This is not on a specific release window. It says early 2024 for PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. But it looks super rad, and any kind of Metroidvania immediately gets me a little curious. But when it has like an art style that is very unique, oh man, you're signing me up for success right there. So this is probably going to come out after Ultros, I'm assuming. And this might very well be on the list too.
Oh, another one to keep on your list. Well, I mean, maybe not, but one of the ones that I'm very much looking forward to is Nine Souls. It's a game from the guys who made Detention and Devotion. It looks real good. It looks real good. It's got an incredible art style, from what I can gather. Like,
as soon as I pulled it up, I was like, "That's for me."
yeah.
That's super pretty, man. Who made this?
Red Candle Games. They're a Taiwanese studio.
I can tell.
Yeah.
This is immaculate artwork.
Yeah. It looks gorgeous. So,
Holy shit. Oh, Nine Souls. SOLS.
Yeah.
That's... This is going to be a good year for indies.
It's going to be a very good year for indies.
Oh, man. See, that's almost better for me. This is like my... That's what I crave, dude. If the Haunted Chocolatier wound up coming out this year, game over.
Yeah.
After all of these, shit.
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
For
That
sure.
is awesome.
For sure. And
I did not know that.
I think one of the things that you're probably like you've touched on with your comments is like I do think that this year is going to be a downgrade from last year pretty significantly, but in the indie space it could arguably
thrive.
be just as good. You know,
that's like, crazy because now I'm looking at a game called Neva from Nomada Studio, and this is equally as beautiful. Another indie that I had not heard of until doing this, and it is... I don't know how to describe it. It's like... It looks like hand-drawn art, but in a fucking gaming landscape, dude. This is exciting. I think the one thing that I thought going into this episode was that it's kind of going to be a disappointing year, but I didn't think of the turnaround that it would have on the indie games.
Yeah.
That's going to be wild.
And then also don't forget you've got Cat Quest 3 coming out.
I did see that. I did. So something that I'm going to do with Sabrina this year is try to play a few more co-op games. So Cat Quest 2 obviously goes into that a little bit, and we're going to play It Takes Two sometime here soon as well because I never played that.
Yeah, I want to play that too. Kayla and I just never have time to. That shit looks so much fun.
That. Yeah, and everyone's spoken very highly of it, and if it won Game of the Year, I mean, it had to do something right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think we're in agreement. It's going to be a relatively slow year for
AAAs.
For AAAs, and it's going to be a beautiful year for indies. Oh fuck, dude! I just found a trailer for another game that I'm going to be interested in playing. Neva, something like that.
That's the one I just talked about.
What?
That's the one.
Oh, are you serious? Maybe I just misheard what you called it.
Yeah, I said Neva, but
Okay.
I really don't know how it's pronounced.
Yeah. Yep. That looks. It's from the people who made Gris, and Gris is a gorgeous looking game.
That's why I looked at it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made by Nomada Studio.
Well, yeah, good shit, man.
Now I'm a little excited.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm still not because I just want to play backlog games.
Yeah, I feel like should we say that now?
Yeah, I think so. We can do that if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, last year's. I'm not even going to get into that side of it because I really don't know what happened with last year's challenge other than I think we did it.
No, we did not. We definitively
didn't do it.
No, we didn't. I had to play.
I actually didn't know that.
I had to play both Austin's and Tonny's games. I didn't get to either of them.
Okay, so on that side, we definitely failed. That's funny
Yeah.
as shit. I did not know that.
We did still hit the 50 games, though, and the genres and the 2023. So we hit all of those.
That's awesome.
We just didn't hit the fuck, I don't know what
the specific games, like the people specific games. Even still, the fact that we hit 50 collective makes me happy.
Yeah, I agree.
That's awesome. So this year, because if anything, by these past few months have gone to show us our lives are fucking stressful and schedules change all the time, and gaming is a huge part of all of our lives, but it feels like we're constantly having to move on to the next thing, essentially, and kind of bolster what we're playing for the year, just so we can beat these challenges. So this year we decided to slow it down a little bit and focus on the backlog, and that's going to help us play games that we missed from 2023 and even beyond that, like me with It Takes Two. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on the backlog and clean that up a little bit, and it's nothing crazy. This year we decided to just kind of go for a very, 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 very simple point-based system. So read played games, so let's just say as of right now, I'm playing Neon White. So when I beat that, that's 1 point. But if I if I finished a game that I hadn't before, like Alan Wake 2, then that's 2 points. And then on top of that, if we, when Austin and Josh and I can all sit down, we're going to call 5 games that we're for sure going to play and beat later in the year. So if we record that episode 2 weeks from now, we can't say a game that we already beat in the first 2 weeks and guarantee our points. We can't do that. But what we can do is we'll call 5 games, and if we pledge to beat that and we do beat it, then we get the 2 or 1 points from whichever game that we called initially, and then we'll add 3 points on top of that. So really simple point-based system, just to kind of see who excels at the end of the year, who kind of wiped out a lot of their backlog games, and just still have some fun with it. If the boys on the other side of the shit show want to tag along, they're more than welcome to do that too, and just kind of have a 6-man free-for-all, or whomever wants to join in the Discord. But it's a much easier time this year for us just to kind of play what we want, clean out the backlog, pick up some 2024 titles as they come out, and just have a good time with it, not stress so much about it, and just play some fucking video games, get back to basics.
Yeah, and I'm excited to do so, because there's a bunch of games that I would like to not only play through for the first time, but a bunch of games that I would like to replay for, I'm not going to say what purposes, but for purposes other than this podcast.
Yeah.
So.
I feel that. So it's going to be a fun year.
It's going to be a fun year.
Casual, yeah.
Very casual. I'm still probably going to play like 30 games this year.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But now I'm not going to feel bad for spending 16 hours. Dude, I've already put like almost 20 hours into ESO. That's not good.
That's not good.
It's not, but we're not going to worry about that.
Yeah.
Because if I beat an expansion,
hey. Yeah. It's going to be good times.
Are we doing POWs or what we've been playing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Let's talk about what we've been playing real quick, because you've been playing ESO?
I have. I've been playing ESO, Neon White, and I think something else. That clearly doesn't fucking matter. So I've been playing ESO. I'll talk about Neon White. Weirdly enough, I know it's going to sound weird, but I'll talk about it in the Game of the Year episodes itself. ESO will not be making it to the Game of the Year episodes. But kind of like what I was saying with WoW, man, this kind of it breaks the monotony and I guess it just kind of breaks the norm for me. I played ESO a lot like what you were saying, kind of when it first dropped, and then a couple of times after that, but it was never more than a few days at a time. And I didn't really delve into the lore of the game, the time period, the expansions, the character building, the social aspects. I didn't delve into any of that like I did with WoW. And this turn, I saw on the PlayStation Store that Necron went on sale, which is the newest expansion. So I said, fuck it, because I'll get that. I'll get a lot of the core stuff because I bought the deluxe edition, because it was below $30 with all that. So I did that, and it got me, because just like I loved with WoW, like I love the simplicity of some of the quests, but like what you were saying with Final Fantasy XIV, it has so much world building and lore that I already love from the Elder Scrolls world, and it just cascades this information into you, and it feels like you're doing more than fetch quests and attack quests and going from point A to point B. Like, it feels like I'm playing an Elder Scrolls MMO full of things to learn and experience, and I'm having such a good time with it, even though like it's a just a casual thing for me right now. I say as I've put 20 hours in a few days, but yeah, man, it's hitting something that I've needed a little bit of. So very grateful for that. I'm excited to start Final Fantasy too. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking hate you, Josh. Like the fact that you even said something about it, man, God, because I know you do not like World of Warcraft, but the fact that you sat and played Final Fantasy, that it's not telling me that you are a Final Fantasy fan and you enjoyed it. What it's telling me is that an MMO broke its formula to the point where you want to play and learn about the game. And that's all I need, dude. Because that's my biggest thing when it comes to gaming. I think everyone knows I'm a little art slut. Like, I love a game that looks visually good, but beyond that, if people knew the amount of knowledge I have about lore in these video games, like when it comes to, I have World of Warcraft lore books that I used to sit and read.
Dylan.
Yeah.
I have fucking Final Fantasy 14 lore books.
This is what I'm saying. And that's the kind of thing that I love, man, is I love being able to just, I don't give a fuck about our history, but you can give me some fictional universe and I'll learn the shit out of that. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm probably going with Final Fantasy, thanks to you. And outside of that, like I said, I'm playing Neon White, but I'm saving that for the Game of the Year episodes or at least the categories, maybe, for a specific reason. So I'll talk about that later. But I am having fun with that as well. That was my last year's Game of the Year, for those who forgot.
Was that really?
What are you playing? It was, last year's Game of the Year for me. I beat Elden Ring.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You're right. I remember that now. Yeah. Okay, cool. Shit, yeah. Well, yeah, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3. I'm trying to knock as much of that out as I can before, we get down to brass tacks with Game of the Year episode. And, man, a lot of people were right. It's real fuck good game. Real good game. I feel like, so Baldur's Gate 3 is obviously an RPG, right? Like, I mean, it's, you level up, you're in combat a lot of times, and like there's a whole bunch of stuff going on at any given point. But like, I feel like there are so many immersive sim elements in this that like it's kind of like, I don't want to call it an immersive sim because it's really, those are built from RPGs. Like if you play Dungeons and Dragons, like the tabletop game or whatever, you have unlimited amounts of options available to you.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to go into combat and, blah, 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 blah. And that's what I feel like immersive sims were built on. Is like, here is a puzzle, solve the puzzle in whatever way you see fit. And Baldur's Gate 3 is really scratching that itch for me right now, where I'll come across situations where I'm like, okay, how can I get through this? Or like, I have found this thing. What is the best way for me to proceed? Or whatever the case may be. And in that way, it is very much sticking in line with what Dungeons and Dragons has done before, right? I mean, it's not necessarily reinventing the wheel, but like, it is just full of all of these like wonderful little like character interactions and like just wonderful little bits of writing and these really awesome like sequences where like there's not a correct answer and it's you find your own path type thing. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, I don't want to say much more about it because it just like I haven't gotten very far. I'm still in like the first act. But like I'm really, really having a blast with it. and I have been engaged in some of its or like I have become engaged in like what other people have found out about it. Like, just for instance, I heard, I was watching a stream replay from one of my favorite YouTubers, and he was doing his like Game of the Year awards, and he had like a category of like best moment in gaming of 2023, and he told this story about how there's a scene that I played through relatively recently where Asterion is like coming over you while you're asleep at night, and then he tries to suck your blood and he wakes you up, and like he's like, oh, I'm a vampire, can you just help me out doing this, you know, can I just do it this little bit, just a little bit or whatever,
just give me a little hit.
Yeah. And the in the stream, Super Eye Patch Wolf was talking about how he just let Asterion do that, and Asterion basically bled him dry. And and so he was like, okay, well, fuck, how do I handle this or whatever? He switched over to a different character. So as Shadowheart, he had a scroll of Revivify or whatever, and he was able to revive his player character, and the player character remembered all of the stuff that was happening and was able to go back through and have a conversation with Asterion about like, hey, dude, you fucking killed me.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I was like, the fact that that's a thing that can happen in this game is astounding.
Stupid how much dialogue is in that game.
And like all of it's spoken too, dude. Like
it is.
It's wild.
It's a labor of love. If we have a labor of love, what the fuck did I just say? Labor of Love award. It goes to this because they have put so much into this, not only the past few years before it came to console, but since it has, you know, released this year to the masses, they're still adding thousands of lines of dialogue to the game. It's like, damn.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, dude. And I've probably put about, I'd probably say like 15 or 20 hours, and the fact that I'm still in Act 1 is kind of insane. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know, but you need to stop talking about it because I'm going to go back to it, and I cannot do that right now. Oh, no.
Well, it's gonna be one of my games that so real quick clarification, since we're here, do we have to have started the game this year?
No. Okay. No. Backlog for me. No.
Okay. Cool.
And it's just to the Discord guys and girls, if you're listening as well, it does not have to be started this year. Backlog to me means, I mean, if I'm the kind of person that needs a fresh start, but if you started it in like December 15th and you want to keep that going, go for it. Or if you're fine with starting shit back in August and finishing it this year, go for it.
Cool.
I can't do that. That's just because I forget half the shit. But yeah, no, I'm perfectly that's a no to me. Go for it. Get dirty, get filthy. Just don't play 5-minute sex simulators, Jeff.
Yeah, please don't do that, Jeff.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Stop being who you are. Also, shout out Mr. Ruiss. I'm sorry I gave you a shitty game for the challenge, but I'm very happy that you made it all the way through Hollow Knight.
Oh, he beat it?
Yeah, he beat the shit.
Oh, nice. I still haven't beat it.
Yeah, no, he was not happy there for the last few nights of his tenure with that game, but he came on the other side of it, so good for him.
I'm going to look up the bosses real quick and see how far I got.
Yeah, but he is the Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight guide. Where is there a boss guide somewhere? Hornet Protector, Mantis Village. I think Mantis Village may have been about as far as I got last time. That's just a little less than halfway.
Yeah, but you still made it far as hell. You made it to the... Are they the Watchers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are fun.
Yeah, that was a gigantic pain in my ass, and I think that's why I stopped.
Yeah. He absolutely hated the game. So
well, he also tried Liza P and fucking hated it.
Oh, I mean,
I don't think that
there's a
Justin
theme.
likes hard games.
Uh-oh. That... Did he play Elden Ring?
No, he has not yet.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to either. Anyway, yeah. Do you have a pick of the week? We can do our picks so we can get out of here.
Oh no.
Okay.
I can pick one real quick. Hold on.
All right, I'll do mine. Mine is called Folgers Coffee Christmas Incest Commercial 2009.
Shut the fuck up. Are you kidding?
I'm not even kidding you. That's the name of the video from CJ the X. CJ the X is a YouTuber who I found out about relatively recently, and this is his first video in almost a year. Or there, I think CJ the X is a they them. That sounds wrong. I don't know of a better way to say that, but that doesn't sound like a good sentence.
They exist.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's called Folgers Coffee Christmas Incest Commercial 2009, and he basically breaks down the entire commercial, and then goes into like basically how people created fanfics from it, and like I don't know, it's a wild ride. I was laughing, I was crying. It was a good time. So go check that out. CJ the X makes really fucking great videos, by the way. There's one called The Kronk Effect, where he talks about like basically animated sidekicks and how they cannot hold movies on their own, even though people try. There's another one where he talks about No Face from Spirited Away and how No Face is an incel. Yeah. Yeah, he makes really good videos. I like them. So, check him out.
My pick of the week is from it is my probable most played album of last year. It's After Hours by The Weeknd.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's still 3 years later. It's still my favorite album that he's done, probably. And yeah, I mean, I have nothing else to say about it. It has some of my favorite songs on there. Some of his best singles, like Blinding Lights and Heartless. So that is my POW.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, cool. Yeah, that's the end of the episode. We will be back next week. With I think Game of the Year. So yeah, you know where to follow us on all the things. Keep a special eye out in the coming weeks on the YouTube channel, because there will be something. I'm not going to say what it is, but just
all I can say is that little something got me tingling.
So, yeah. Patrons actually specifically for you, you will actually get it a couple days early.
You fucking deserve it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You guys will get it a couple days early. So, yep. Just keep an eye out on that stuff. And if you want to become a patron and get things early and get special perks and stuff like that, go to patreon.com/culturepop. Anyway, that's it. That's the end of the show. So until next time.